What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be diving back into a title that we haven't taken a look at in almost exactly a year. About a year ago, we took a look at Starsand, and this is one of those games that kind of like for the first 30 minutes, I was really on the fence about it, because gaming is no stranger to generic survival games. However, at the 30-minute mark, the game broke out a cinematic and interesting things started to happen where I was like, oh, that's a hook right there. And so while it had a lot of rough edges and things that I think could have been polished up to be better, I think the premise is what really helps this game float. And so anyways, if you've never seen Starsand before, this is a game where you're a marathon runner out in like the Gobi Desert or something. And as you're running, you end up in a sandstorm. You go into like an old building in order to find cover from the sandstorm. And when you come out, you've been transported to almost like a, I don't know, almost like a Stargate type world. You're on a different planet very clearly, but there are corollaries with Earth. Like there's animals around that are also Earth animals, but there's also other things lurking and chittering in the darkness that are coming after you. And so anyways, we're going to take a look at the game. It's had a number of major updates over the last year. I've played for about an hour and a half to get us past where we were in the game the last time we covered it, so that at least we're like started out and you're not seeing the same stuff that we've already seen before. But if after watching this you wanted to check out the early access to Starsand, I'll have a link for you down below in the description. And then on top of that, you can also take a look down there for a link to my Discord and my Twitch stream. All right, let's go ahead and dive on in, shall we? All right, so here we are in the pitch black. It's nighttime because that just makes life a little bit easier. This game takes place in a very, very powerful desert where you've really got to like manage your temperature and your heat in order to survive. I've set up some of the basics of like a base over here, and I wasn't trying to be punny right there. Let me give you a little bit of light so that you can see. These logs are going to burn for a good long while, and so anyways, there we go. I've got myself a bed, I've got myself a campfire, I've got a storage crate over here, and I've got a scroll in my inventory. So after wandering around the internet, after wandering around the desert for a little while, I found this scroll. You want to take a look at it? Here, I'll let you take a look at it.
It never started. It was always there. A menace from below, as old as our desert. Here, thirst and hunger drive all creatures. But them, they crave blood and flesh. We learned to coexist, fighting. We fought for millennia. They would never stop. They needed us to feed. And the more they fed, the more their number would grow, endangering the very existence of our kind.
So as you can tell, this is very much not a man versus nature game, unless you count giant space bugs as part of nature. And so anyways, wandering through the desert, I found that scroll. I think we showed that the first time I checked out the game, but I felt like it'd be a really good thing to open up with because it really establishes the premise of the game that, like, yes, this is a survival game, but there's also things going on in the black and in the darkness that you need to be worried about. So with where I'm at in the game right now, it's time for us to start venturing out into the desert and just kind of seeing what we see. There's really no way around it other than that. And so this game does not have a map. That's the first thing that you're going to have to get used to. This game is all about charting your own map, which is actually a feature that I find to be particularly interesting about this game, given the fact that I have like an entire college degree in making maps from scratch geologically, and so this is something that intensely interests me. If you look at the map completely and totally blank, the only way we can add anything to the map is by adding a marker and then also dragging and dropping one of these bad boys onto the map in order to basically mark it. And I like that a lot. I think that that's a really, really cool feature. I do have a tower over here. I need to tear it down because I was just putting it down to like reacclimate myself with the way that the game functions. So I'm going to go tear down this tower over here in the dark. But give me a few minutes and I think we're going to get some tools together in order to go out on our first adventure. One thing that I didn't realize is that these signs do not stack. I hadn't made one of them yet. And so anyways, let's go ahead and we'll store maybe like one of them. This game has a severely limited inventory, by the way. If that's one of those things that like tilts you up a wall, this game is going to have that in just huge amounts. You don't really get a lot of inventory space in this game. I think that's one thing that they could adjust. I think having 2 rows at the beginning when you start would be a good idea. The game does allow you to craft backpacks later on in your base building experience so that you can get even more slots, but I do think it's overly limited at the beginning of the game to the point of being a little bit frustrating, I guess. What I found is, as you're exploring your inventory, you got to bring so many tools with you to exploit the things that you're going to find in various locations that you end up not really having the space to store the other stuff that you want to have with you. And you can get around that a little bit by like storing some of your tools, but in storing some of your tools, now what if you come across a resource that you can't harvest? And this game is a very walk-heavy game, like there's a lot of walking. So a lot of the time, I really don't feel like walking 15 minutes back to where I was to grab a tool, then 15 minutes back to where the thing is that I want to get. And so I think it adds an extra layer of tedium to the game that doesn't necessarily need to exist there. If they just, like, added 6 more slots as a default, I could make the game work with 12 slots and also my inventory over here, and from there it would still be a little bit constricted and a little bit, I guess, reserved. But I need to eat some meat real fast. I killed a frog. I took the flesh of the frog, and I have now ingested it into my body. I'm going to drink some water, and then we need to make some tools. All right. So in making some tools, what things might be useful while we're on the road? Well, I think something to defend ourselves might be a really good idea. And so if there's there's a crude spear over here, but I need a log in order to make it. The good news is I can just kind of grab one of those out of my campfire real quick. And we can just craft that here very, very rapidly. So let's go to, let's see, weapons. There we go. Spear, good idea. It's probably not bad. Apparently it's got durability, so we'll want to check out and see what that feels like. Most of the tools in this game don't seem to have durability, so we'll have to wait and see. But as you can see, it's crafting right there. I do think that acquiring a bow might not be a terrible idea either. We're going to have very, very limited arrows, but I think I would like to have them. And so I'm going to go ahead and get after it real fast, just so I can see. So with the spear, it doesn't have like a durability meter or anything. So maybe it's just kind of like for lore purposes. I haven't noticed any of my tools breaking, which actually I'm a big fan of. You guys will know that like I dislike durability in games intensely. I'm very much, and I'm not saying that my opinion is right. I'm just saying that for me personally, I prefer it when games have crafting recipes that are very, very difficult to do, but once you've done them once, you're good. Oh, that gave me 25 arrows. I may have overdone it on the arrows then. Let's save a couple rocks in that case. All right, so I'm going to throw the sticks inside of there. I'm going to throw the cordage inside of there. We've got our water bottle. We've got our other stuff. Honestly, I think what we really need to do is I think I need to build a few more. Can I just throw the logs inside of here? Like, I legitimately do not care if we burn up all these logs. I've basically got tons and tons of trees that I can take down, and they do regrow. We'll probably wait for morning before we get on out here and start doing anything too crazy. The good news is I can sleep to make that happen. So let's go ahead and take a little nap and see if we have dreams or anything. Why still should the lust for ascension seem in itself so close to madness? Nothing there is that can satisfy me. Earthly novelty is too soon dulled. I'm drawn higher and higher, more unstable, closer and closer to the sun's effulgence. Why do these rays of reason destroy me? I don't know, now doesn't feel like the time for philosophy to me, champ. Now feels like the time to get on out here and get some work done. Alright, so my inventory is a little bit fuller than I would like it to be. We only have 3 slots for moving things around, but I can drop all the rocks on the ground and we can just come back for those later. Let's get on the road. I'm going to drink some water before we go. I'm a little bit worried about our hunger, but maybe we'll be able to take care of that by some other means. Now, the game does an okay job of giving you kind of like reference points by which you can move around. Directions that I've not yet gone in, I haven't really cut out this way yet. And so we don't really have a reference marker. The last time, I've set out 2 times on Expedition. The first time, I went that way. And there's actually like a wall of sand that way that you can't really get around. This way, I have not gone, largely because I've been using these standing stones that are occasionally around the desert as a reference point to figure out where I'm at. And honestly, I don't like being away from them. The idea of being lost in this environment really, really, really worries me. I would rather not. But we're going to cut out in this direction and just kind of see what happens. And as you can see, the game is all about empty expanses. Like, this game is a game where truly you are in the middle of unestablished nowhere. This is a very, very, in survival terms, this is a hyper-deadly situation to find yourself in, because really anything that lives in this environment is going to be specially adapted, almost super selected evolution-wise, in order to survive in this environment over just absolute ridiculous eons of time. Human beings, we aren't adapted to live in this kind of environment. There are people that live in this environment, but they've got lots of tools and tricks and things that I don't have access to. So anyways, let's walk for a little bit and let's see where we end up. Well, so far, not much to be spoken about. We've got some hyenas, and I think we've got like a camel down there. I don't know. Well, maybe that's not. I think that's another hyena. I don't know. There's a bunch of hyenas around here. I don't know why there's hyenas wandering around the desert, but it concerns me. Okay, no camels. Oh, are they coming for me, dude? They look like they might be coming for me. Oh, no. Okay, I'm gonna go this way. Oh, what's up, buddy? Are you hard to kill? You're actually not as hard to kill as I thought you were gonna be. A much simpler process. We've got some leather right there, which is good because I actually need that, and then a big old grip of food. All right. Where's my other arrow at? I do want to get my resource. I'm a little bit disappointed that over this rise we didn't really find anything. It's definitely not a place that's conducive to survival. Let's see if there's anything. There's a little nook over here. And one thing this game really likes to do is there will be like a little divot or an indentation in the dunes, and there will be something down in the middle of it that you can't necessarily see unless you run up and check. Big old grip of nothing. Not a damn thing. Unfortunate. A little disappointing. I was hoping we would find a stuff or possibly a thing down in here. But alas, not what happened. Well, there's something over here. I don't know what it is, but it's a something. Maybe a clay deposit? I've been looking around for clay deposits in the desert, but I haven't really had much luck finding any of them. So that would actually be a come up. The downside is our body temperature is getting too high right now. Out in the desert, you can see that in the bottom left. And so we are going to have to find a way around that. What are you? Huh. Well, I saw there's like a inventory thing where it's got like a list of beetles that I've collected. But unfortunately, beetles, I haven't figured out a way to catch them yet. I think I need some kind of net. It looks like a ruin to me. Not a ruin that's indicative of anything. Can I get into the shade over here? Is that possible? Oh, I can, thank God. This game actually uses a dynamic shade system in order to get your body temperature back down. And so I need to drink some water, rehydrate, hopefully get my body temperature down to like acceptable levels. And I don't mind pushing out further into the desert right now, but we're going to want to think about turning back pretty soon, just due to the fact that our equipment is sub-satisfactory for surviving in this environment. Well, I got my temperature down like a little bit. The other thing that I would recommend we do is let's get like a reference point over here. So like if I could put this down. There we go. So the marker is down. And what we can do now... Oh, really? Okay. Fair enough. So what we want to do is we want to kind of mark this right here. There we go. I don't like the dismantling process in this game. My recommendation would be, and what I would like much better, is the ability to move things. Because once I place them, I usually want to rotate them to get like a better facing or whatever. In order to... Man, there is just nothing out here. What an absolutely abysmal environment. I'm going to cut a little bit wide, and I still know vaguely the direction of our base. But I'm going to cut a little bit wide and kind of loop around so that we cover as much ground as possible. Hey, coming up over the rise, we found something. Looks like there's an oasis down and over here, which I think is great because that's going to give me a minute. Yeah, I'm taking damage right now from the heat. That's going to give me a minute to fiddle with things. It looks like we've got another ruin over there, too. Good. All right. Let me go cool down, then I'm going to kill that hyena. But I'm going to try to jump into this water real fast. And once we kill the hyena, I'm going to try to put together a campfire over here. Yeah, this is a different oasis. Oh, look at that, dude. There's some kind of waffle-footed, lumpy sand moose out here. All right, cool, man. Yeah, let's get in the water and cool down real fast. We'll drink. We'll slake our thirst. We'll look around for whatever we can find. I will make another marker over here, I think, so that I can figure out roughly where we're at. Hello, sand mooses. Hello, I am a friend. Look upon me, my fuzzy brethren. I do not desire the hydration of your hump. Your sexy camel lumps. All right, let's go over here. And I need to kill a hyena. Man, this bow is like a slingshot. This thing is terrible. Luckily, hyenas seem to be really, really, really poorly ballistically equipped. So we should be all right. There's a little bit more meat. That's good because our hunger is looking terrible right now. I don't see anything that looks crazy valuable around here. How hard is it going to be for me to make a campfire? 2 stones and a stick. All right. I can do that. Wow, it's hot out today. 106 degrees. All right, that'll do it. It normally gets up to like 115 where I live. And honestly, I feel like I'm uniquely equipped for this because, like, I come from a place where it's 115, like, all the time. Like, that's just called, like, October. You know what I mean? But on top of that, I'm also, like, a quarter Hawaiian. And so I feel like we have a lot of the things that I need as a person to survive here. Like, we've got, like, sand. We've got a palm tree. We've got coconuts. We've got fronds. Like, I feel like it could be worse. You know what I mean? Like, we've got at least a fractional amount. What was that? Okay. Have I angered Anubis? What has happened here? Yeah, I'm a little bit worried for my safety. What does this thing say over here? Every now and again, I find one of these little guys, and it's got something like, "They are coming," written on the side of it with, like, a hand sliding off of it in blood. Or it'll say something super fun and festive like, "I'm the only one left." You know, just little things to really kick off a conversation. Well, it's so hot today that I can't really accomplish anything. I basically just have to camp underwater. What I will say is, we need to track down a few more rocks. Are camels gonna try to hurt me? Oh God, it's mosquitoes, dude. Okay, yeah, fair enough. I don't want any problems, mosquitoes. There are few things in this world I hate as much as mosquitoes, dude. Animal dookie. Oh, I thought that was a rock. Oh yeah, you guys are just leaving plops all over the place. What are you? A stone deposit. Yeah, that'd be helpful. Let's do that. There we go. Stone deposit. Now I'm going to light a fire, which, when it's already hot as hell out, feels like a bad idea. But I got to do what I got to do. We got to cook up some of this meat, otherwise... mosquitoes! Is there, like, a little shady nook that I can be inside of? I need one more steak. Alright, so now that a scorpion. Look at that, dude. All right. Let me whittle up this campfire real fast. It's 106 degrees out right now. That's bad. We are going to go check out that ruin in just a minute. Why did something just go rattle, 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 rattle? You can't do that kind of stuff to me, dude. I come from a place where there's a rattlesnake in every bush. Like, I have, like, long-term snake-related PTSD from almost getting snaked. From the age of like 5 or 6 years old, we live in constant fear. Can't play with my emotions like this. You know what? I'm just going to make my little living area just kind of like, you know, inside this little spot over here. Ooh, clay. Nice, dude. I need that. Okay. Well, let me get my campfire deployed before I starve to death. That's going to be order number 1. I am going to need something to light on fire. That's going to be kind of non-negotiable. So let's maybe just like, yeah, sure, dude. That'll do. Chop you down. We got some nuts rolling around because obviously that's something that's... Oh no, dude, my axe broke? Lame. Well, that's not good. Apparently, they don't have any durability indicator. That's bad. That's really bad. As far as UI and context goes, if your tools are going to break, there should definitely be a little meter underneath them that tells you when they are going to break. Depriving players of that kind of basic information, just not a great idea, in my opinion, because now it ends up in situations like I'm in, where I've got to figure out how in the hell can I just make a new one? Do I have the stuff on me right now? Yeah, I don't have any cordage. All right, so what I can do here, I know what I can do. We'll just make a knife. You can make a knife out of 2 rocks anywhere. That's fine. It's going to be a little bit of an over-the-top solution and not one that I'm enthused about, but it's a solution. So anyways, let's go ahead and we'll open this guy up. We're going to put in a couple of sticks. Just let it burn, you know what I mean? And then I'm going to go back down here, and I'm going to do my best to acquire trunk, but doing this with a stone finger is going to take forever. Aha, my food is done. Good. I've saved myself from starvation. I do need to keep working on chopping up this tree, though. Where's the trunk at? Oh, is the trunk totally gone? Unfortunate. All right. Well, what I will do instead, then, is I will chop up these fronds, because I need more cordage anyways. Otherwise, I can't make a new thing. There we go. Throw that in there real fast. Hopefully that's enough to get it done. I'm going to chop down another tree in just a minute, but I need to manufacture myself another axe. And so I'm going to cut these stems up right here until I've got stuff for rope, because I feel like that's going to be something that I need to have. But actually, this oasis is kind of better than the other one. All right, so we're making 6 ropes. That should allow me to craft another axe, so this doesn't take quite as long. God, I hope that food gets done cooking. Oh, it didn't get done cooking. All right, my life is hard and unacceptable and also a little bit depressing. It could do with being a tad more cheery. Oh, dude. What is that thing? Come on. Oh, God. All right. I don't know if we need to square up right now. It certainly feels like it's definitely coming for me. Can I escape it in water? Does it care about water? Apparently it doesn't mind water. It's not like afraid of it either. Is it going to come back up, though, if I touch land, dude? That's exactly what's going to happen, isn't it? This game has a really unforgiving save system. I think that's probably one of the biggest things they could change about the game in order to make it better. You have to use a bed in order to save for some reason, like it's Rust. I would highly recommend they just implement a totally normal save system. Just let me hit F5 and quick save. I've never agreed with games that limit when and where you can save. Just, just let me save, man. Just let me save my game, bro. Apparently, this is an island of safety. So I live on the island now, and I am never going to leave because that was a giant centipede. One thing we can do is we can make ourselves a new canteen that carries more water. The other side is we can make a satchel, and since we're having such a terrible time actually storing our loot, and that has been one of the big things I've been wrestling with during my time in-game, I'm going to make a satchel. Hopefully it gives us another row of inventory slots. This is my desert fashion chic that I've been rocking. I tore up my clothes and made myself an underwear hat because that's the first thing you should do in a deadly environment. It did give us another row. That's really, really good, and I appreciate it tremendously. I still need to manufacture an axe, though. One place where I think the game did a really good job is in the soundtrack. I actually think the soundtrack does a lot of heavy lifting in this game to sell the sort of Dune-esque, I guess, sci-fi, yet at the same time rooted in reality vibe that the game has going on. Like, I have found the soundtrack to just be great. I've enjoyed it. It's very synthwavy. Don't eat those right there. If you eat that, I promise you're gonna regret it. Don't eat that. That's bad. No put in mouth. Alright, so with a new day upon us, I wanted to go check out that ruin real fast. We've made ourselves like a nice little temporary camp right here. I'd also really like... Do I have enough sticks or whatever? Here. What I'd like to do is I need to set up a... Doesn't matter if I have enough sticks because I don't have cordage. I'm going to have to make some cordage pretty soon. But we'll chop these up, and I wanted to make a marker here that points directly... Ah, dude, come on. You kidding me, man? Dude, I think this Killipede or whatever it is really, really wants drama, dude. This thing is really choosing war right now. I don't even know if I'm hitting it, in all honesty. I guess the worst case scenario is that I run away when my health gets low. Yeah, it looks like I got him. Not a whole lot of impact on the attacks or the receiving hits, but the modeling looks quite good, as well as the texturing on the bug. Not bad. Can I do anything with it? Like, can I loot it? Oh, scorpion. Don't get stung by those. Getting stung by a scorpion's real, real bad. I have the things I need in order to fix myself if I get stung by a scorpion, but I'd rather not waste them. I don't know. I don't know if this is actually working. I've been hitting him for a while. Maybe I need a knife or something. Maybe that's the secret. Maybe that's the ticket. Either way. Ooh, there's a frog right there, too. That's dinner. Are there any hyenas or anything around? And also, where was that ruin? There it is. It's over there. All right, so I've got sticks. I just need cords now. And the good news is I have all the stuff that I need for cords as well. Now I'm, like, terrified that my axe is going to break at any moment. Just due to the fact that I thought the weapons were, like, fine and they didn't break because I played for, like, an hour and a half with the last ones and there was no durability indicator. So I thought we were good, man. I thought we were home free, bro. Yeah, make me many of these. There we go. 4 of those. We'll make ourselves a marker. And we'll make sure that the marker points directly at the other ruin so that we can use both the ruin and we can use this oasis as reference points to one another. I just realized I didn't mark my home oasis either, so, like, we've still got things we need to... So it's, like, right there. Oh, look at that. It just despawned. There's no, like, crumbling animation or anything. All right, so let me check the top of the hill. I'm going to need a marker. Yeah, it's like right there. So if I can get the marker to point directly at it. I think that would be ideal. I don't know how I did here in pointing at it. Let's go look. But either way, what we can now do is we can take the oasis marker, kind of put that right there. And then we could tear this down a little bit later. Let's go to the ruin, I suppose. I know you can hear, like, trepidation in my voice, but it just kind of seems like we're in a strange and scary land where everything wants to hurt me. Except for the camels, weirdly enough, dude. Like, sand meese right now are kind of like my best friend. They're like the only thing not trying to kill me. I don't know if I got that on a straight shot, but it looks like I got close. So I'll take it. How bad is this going to be? Actually, looks like we lined up perfectly with the door. This might be alright. Suspiciously weird tearing point for the music right there that just cut out randomly. And that's definitely a little polish issue that needs to be looked at. Oh, it's a well. Nice. So basically, by finding ruins and things, you're going to find new crafting blueprints, and then you're going to find more clues as to what may have happened here. Ow, stop it. No. Wow, he almost got me. Like, he really, like, leaned into that one. These guys are pretty good at, like, killing me and making me feel sad. I'm gonna go inside where potentially there is also shade, so I won't burn to death. And then I also need to drink some water. That'd be a good idea. Oh, look at that, dude. There's, like, a creepy tomb in here. Okay. What's in the treasure chest? 2 arrows? I could take 2 arrows. What are those, like mud bricks? Yeah, okay. Fair enough. I can't pick up or do anything with the chest, unfortunately. We will want to be careful about stepping on scorpions in here, though. These ruins... Ooh, free rope? Yeah, dude, I'm always making rope. I'd love free... Can I pick up this skull? Man, I wanted to make a skull belt buckle so that people in the desert think that I'm cool. Man, ancient scroll. A concoction. Okay. Another treasure chest. I'm going to turn that down. A cloth, very useful. A plank, also useful. Arrows, I will call those useful too. And we have another artifact.
Riding the stars, they came. From the sky, they walked the sand. To harvest life among the dunes. Gods made human. We greeted them with no fear. For no evil walks on 2 legs. They bestowed their divine knowledge upon us, and our faith was restored. We planted the barren Abaj, because so was their wish. With the secret of fire, we rose. We built our legacy, the green gods watching over us from beyond the sun. We thrived.
Yeah, but it never works out like that, does it? Like, there's a definite Act 3 and Act 4 of this story that are not going to work out well for anybody because, I mean, look at us right now. We're standing in the middle of, like, a rusty, dusty, Killipede-infested hell. So, that's just my line of thinking. Ooh, free brick. Yay! Anybody want a free brick? Can I look at this right here? Oh, is that like a map? Ow! The hell? Damn it, Scorpion. Dude, I thought we could be friends. That's what I thought. Hit feedback really, really, really wispy in the game and definitely needs to be tuned up. Honestly, I feel like, I know I sound like a broken record with this stuff, but I always feel like animation, such a major part, like, I think the animations are serviceable, but it definitely needs like a wachunk. When you like hit something as like a hit marker, it's missing that. And so it's hard to derive whether or not you've actually landed a hit a lot of the time. Like it needs kind of like a wachunk with like the tiniest bit of like head shake when you actually land a hit or something like that to denote the player that they've actually like landed a strike on the enemy. Still, we've got a well. We've got a concoction. We got the second scroll. And so basically the way that this game works is that you are exploring and moving through the desert and silently mapping it, and you're going to find things that allow you to advance and get further. There's a giant pyramid, actually, that I already found, but we'd have to walk like 15 minutes to get there. There's a giant pyramid, and basically you're collecting things from all over the desert that allow you to get further and further into the pyramid, solving puzzles and kind of like platforming, jumping things and things of that nature to figure out exactly what happened to this lost race of people that lived in this environment, and also the aliens that came and helped them out, because obviously mankind is entirely incompetent, and we can never accomplish anything on our own without the help of extraterrestrials. And so anyways, this is Starsand. I hope you guys dug it. I think that the game is rough, but it's based on a really, really strong premise. And I think that the premise does a whole lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to keeping players engaged with the game. Like, it's one of those odd things where I can forgive janky animations. I can forgive like weird, odd things if a game has a really, really strong premise. And I think that's definitely the case with Starsand, where like it's a rough survival game that definitely needs a lot more polish and a lot more sort of presentationally related things to make the game feel better to play. But the game's premise is so undeniably well pitched, and the stuff that has to do with the premise is so well directed and so well arranged that it kind of keeps you in the driver's seat and wanting to play, even though there's little stuff like the hit feedback and whatnot, and, you know, some of the animations being a little bit rough may not be like top-tier production values there, but the premise is strong enough that it's kept me engaged anyways. And so if you wanted to check this game out, like I said, I've got a link for you down below in the description. It's been a year since the last time we checked the game on out. It's had 3 or 4 major content updates that have added big chunks of the map, and so, you know, they're working on it. It's still moving along. I personally, before I recorded this video, went through to see how many updates they've pushed since last year, and it looks like they're putting out updates about quarterly. I mean, quarterly to, like, thirdly. I don't know, tertiarily? I don't know what word it is for, like, dividing the year into thirds. But anyways, trinaries? There we go, that might work. But anyways, it seems like they're putting out 3 to 4 patches a year that add more crafting blueprints, enemies, things of that nature. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we had Starsand. Tomorrow, we will definitely have something else. Hopefully you enjoyed this checkup. Hopefully it was helpful to you in some way or another. I'll be back tomorrow with something hot and fresh off the indie skillet, but up until then, it is time for me to go. Bye, everybody.